Joining us today is a man who needs no introduction, recently being crowned regular season and Patriot League tournament MVP. In studio with us today, here is Eitan Rosen. Eitan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me today, Tyler.
Let's dive right in, taking it back to the beginning. So you've had trials with major clubs like Sunderland and Brentford FC. That's like me passing my SATs if I took them. What's it like sharing a locker room with potential football icons? Did it add some attributes to your game, or was it more of like a what on earth am I doing here moment?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think I remember specifically when I went to Sunderland, I got to have a lunch with Lee Cattermole, who is a bit of a kind of British footballing icon in his way. Maybe not the best player, but yeah, and just kind of learn from those guys. All the pros were there having lunch with all the academy kids, and a lot of the guys I've trained with have gone to the next level. So learning and picking their brains in any way, and it's just a really cool experience, and I'm so grateful that I was able to do all those amazing things for sure.
So you first got started at Woodbridge Strikers in Canada. You then dazzled the U21 Provincial Championship. You represented Canada in the 2017 Maccabi Games in Israel. We went on trial at Brentford and Sunderland, which we just talked about, and somehow ended up at the Northwood School in Lake Placid in New York. So in a journey that's just as confusing as me deciding on a major, what sparked the bold move to go to the North School in Lake Placid, where you were number 25, I believe?
Yeah, look, it's a very confusing journey. There's a lot in there. I was quite short coming out of high school. I wanted to play pro. Maybe the opportunities didn't really line up for me, so then I wanted to play Division I. And I didn't love my offers coming out of high school, and they ran a really good program with Blackrock that used to be at Berkshire. Gotcha. And they moved it to Northwood, so Berkshire has guys like Jack Harrison, Husseini Buddha, Josh Boma that all play pro. And they went through the Blackrock system that was at Berkshire, and then they moved it to Northwood. And that team was an amazing team with an amazing opportunity from guys all over the world. And I really got to train every day, and it opened up so many new possibilities and opportunities being in the U.S. to come play at a Division I school. So it was a big risk because it's one and done. It's a fifth year, but it's a PG year, as they call it. But I'm so grateful for the opportunity they gave me, and it was an amazing year, and I got a lot of really good interest from schools and ended up coming here to BU.
Awesome. So you would say it's more like a factory kind of for developing that talent and getting them out, shipping out to is their main target like to put you in college or to put you at the pro level, or kind of how does that work at?
Yeah, so it's for guys all over the world. That we had kids on the Chilean youth national teams, guys from Spain at top academies, and from France. And the goal was to bring them over to play D1. And look, this year on my team, we had 3 tournament MVPs in college for their conference.
Oh, wow.
So from that same team. So we were really good, and it was a really high level. It was pretty cutthroat, and I learned a lot for sure.
Definitely. Awesome. So fast forward, you commit to BU from the Northwood School. You arrive here at the peak of COVID. You're attending Zoom University. It's a ghost town, and the season only has 4 games. I mean, if that doesn't put a smile on your face, I don't know what would. I'm joking. That must have been terrible. So how'd you get through it?
Wow. You almost didn't, right? Like everybody else. I think that was such a tough time, and for everybody, so not just me. And I'm obviously pretty privileged to be at BU and still be training some days. I know a lot of people didn't even get the opportunity to go to university. And look, I wish I could say it was like determination. I think it was just riding out the wave a little bit. My goal was always to play, and I want to play at any possible opportunity. So when the world shut down, at least here they gave us an opportunity to do something. So 4 games is better than nothing. And I'd play football anywhere, so I'll take it.
That's true. That's awesome. That's awesome. Respectable. So fast forward to sophomore year, people are back on campus. Mask fishing becomes a worldwide phenomenon, and a regular season commences. So how good did it feel to have a return to normalcy?
Yeah, I probably partook in that mask fishing a little bit. I can.
Did
We all
you?
did. We all did.
I don't know if I did.
No, we all did. We all did a little bit. That smile is nice, but we all did.
Okay. I say it gets better once the mask comes off. That's
100. I'd say the same, but
so
come on.
That's not mask.
But come
fishing.
on, we all do a
Okay.
bit of it.
That's
Sometimes the facial hair doesn't come in right. You got to put the mask
true.
on.
That is true.
That's life. But no, back to your question. Yeah, I felt unbelievable. It's kind of weird, right? Because it's my sophomore year.
Yeah.
So you don't get that learning curve from freshman year. So my sophomore year was probably my little learning curve, but man, just so grateful to play, right? I always say that, and I tell the guys still, any game, no matter with spring, fall, any opportunity to get on the field and play with 11 of your brothers, 11 of your teammates you got to be grateful. There's nothing better. So it felt really good to finally play some football.
Yeah, I mean, anything's better than 4 games.
Anything's better than 4 games, 5 games,
yeah.
6 games, doesn't matter.
5
Better
games.
than 4.
Moving up.
You didn't have to play with a mask on.
Yeah.
We moved up.
Awesome. So now junior year was an interesting one for you. You weren't exactly making headlines like you are today, but off the field you were busier than ever. You had roles in SAOC, the Patriot League Anti-Racism Committee, and the Question School of Business, amongst other. And for those of you watching, SAOC stands for Student Athletes of Color, and we love you too. What prompted you to step into more leadership role off the field? Was it a moment of enlightenment, or did you lose a bet?
No, I think as student athletes, a lot of the time, coaches and people push us to be just athletes. Do the best for your team, do the best for the program. And I think my goal always, even from high school, was, I had a passion for social justice. I had a passion for equality. I had a passion for current events and being part of a community. And, in a place like Boston, I thought it was really important to A, find people that I could connect with, and B, try to make a difference. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to be here in general, and I think not making the most of it is a disservice. It's a disservice to my parents that, immigrated to Canada all those years ago, that provided me all these opportunities. And that was my main goal, make the most of the opportunity I have here. And SAOC is amazing. I've been in the club all my 4 years. I remember George Abano and Peter Cargbo introducing me, and Kiara that ran it at the beginning. Those are trailblazers, honestly, and it might seem minimal, but starting a club like that or at a school like this is pretty amazing. And I always have time to do those things. Being on the Patriot League Anti-Racism Committee is an incredible opportunity where I learn a lot. I get to interact with other ADs, top professors from all the universities in the Patriot League, and make a concrete difference. We write legislation that all the sporting administrations in the Patriot League have to follow, have to adhere to. So just being a part of that process, I'm kind of silent on the Zooms because I'm the youngest kid on the Zoom, I was going to say, in the room. But it's really cool how they have facilitated me in that group and have, let me shine a little with giving the student athlete perspective. And while it's intimidating, it's an amazing opportunity, and one that a school like this provides.
So you mentioned kind of legends like George Abano and Peter Cargbo and Kiara. What was it like to kind of work with them? I mean, probably more so for George and Peter, you're on the field with them all. What was it like to have your passions kind of align in something off the field?
Yeah, for me, I think, as an athlete, you have to be more than that. As a person, you have to be more than that. I'm the biggest fan I think you can adhere to of the ball and the game, but at the end of the day, it's a game. And there's things that are much bigger in life, and how you contribute to that and hope to leave a legacy at a place like this, just look around, it's pretty impressive. And the chance to leave your mark and create a better space and leave it better for the next, Eitan to walk through the door. So that's an unbelievable opportunity, and to work with such intelligent people such as George and Kiara. I'll give her the shout out because what she does and how she started SOC is unbelievable. So just learning from people like that, from the people that have been here before you, is always a pleasure.
So now it's your senior year. That annoying guy Ty in the team is out with an injury, and it's like, wow, everything is finally coming together. Let's go through the list of everything you want. Offensive Player of the Year, Patriot League First Team, Patriot League Tournament MVP, Patriot League All-Tournament Team, United Soccer Coaches All-Atlantic Region First Team, 3 times Patriot League Offensive Player of the Week, and most importantly, 2023 Academic All-Patriot League
You need
team.
some water after that, or?
No, I'm good. It's fair to say that it was your breakout season. What changed? Was it something you'd been preparing for, or was it more of a trust the process kind of thing?
Yeah, I think, a year older, take a little more responsibility, and, trust the process is a good word. I'd like to think that every day I work towards those goals. That list doesn't come from nothing. I think it comes from hard work, and every single day. You can't just have habits when things are going good. when things aren't going so great or you're not getting the bounce, that's when you got to be determined. That's when you got to work. And I was fortunate enough, a bit of it, the ball bounced my way sometimes, and
A lot of times,
a lot of
actually.
times, and
Yeah.
you make your own luck.
Okay.
Your hard work makes your luck, and well, sure, I got a bit lucky. I worked for it, and breakout year, you could say a lot of things, but I always knew I had that ability. I maybe got placed in a spot where I could do more, and I did more, and that was my goal. And my goal was always to help the team win overall, and I could do that through goals.
And for the people watching, for the children especially, can you please share your game day routine?
Wow, my game day routine.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty meticulous, as
Okay.
you probably know. I eat 3 hours before the game. So
Hard 3 hours.
hard
No,
3 hours
hard
before
3
the
hours.
game. There's no 3 hours and a half. I'll be eating 3 hours before the game.
Okay.
And then after I eat, I'll shower, kind of decompress a little, do what I have to do. And then I'll be in the back room. I have a little back room by Nickerson or even on the road somewhere where, I've worked through this and I've worked through my routine over my 4 years. But it starts off where I'll journal. So I'll probably journal for 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just on my thoughts on the day. Could be how I'm feeling off the field, what I'm looking for on the field. Jot down my thoughts. I think that's really important because then I'll meditate. So I'll meditate for 10 minutes. It's a really important process in terms of calming myself down. I think, if you're nervous, it means you care. So
Yeah.
meditate a little, and then I stretch, roll out, listen to my music. I'm a big music guy, so I love listening to music. I'll put on some Latin music, something that can get my feet moving to a little Kendrick Lamar, maybe a little Bad Bunny.
He's got taste.
And I'm locking in. My headphones are in. I don't talk to anybody. I am completely focused after that little meditation. So that routine has been here with me for probably 2 or 3 years now.
Okay.
Of locked in. Of that's how I do it. And even on the road, I find a way to get it done. And I'm locked into my music and I'm locked into the task at hand.
So speaking of accolades, despite the controversy surrounding your love affair with any camera come game day, you're actually a very humble guy. In interviews, when asked about your goals and assists, you're always first to point to others on your team. After that game winner against Lafayette to win the Patty League, all you could talk about is Aiden Bone. Sorry, BU today. Has this selflessness always been a part of your game, or was it something that you acquired along the way?
Yeah, I'm a big, look, and I always say this, when I play basketball, I talk a lot of trash. And I
Okay.
talk trash because I'm not that great.
Yeah.
I think I'm a good hooper, but I'm not good enough to play with guys that are really good at basketball. So what
Okay.
do? You talk trash. But when I play football, that's something I like to think I excel in, something I thrive in. That's what I pride myself on. And that means that I do my talking on the field with what I do, how I play. So when someone asks me about my goals or assists, I'm always the same way as if someone makes a mistake, I never say it's that one person. There are 11 guys on the field. So if I score a goal, it's because 11 guys did the right thing. 11 guys did the selfless thing, and I was just fortunate enough to be on the end of it 100%. You can't play in soccer by yourself. It's impossible. And that includes mistakes, as I mentioned. So, look, I do love a good camera, and I think that there's a bit of a joke around that. And
You look great today.
oh, thank you, Ty.
look great
And
today.
BU Athletics, they
Yeah.
they were my burner there for a bit. I know that was a joke, but no, seriously. If someone asks me in an interview, I do my talking on the field. So if they ask me how I did this or how I did that, it is genuinely down to the 11 other guys, the 10 other guys on the field, and everyone from the staff to the guys off the field. Everything matters in soccer as a unit, as a team. So taking credit for something that's only a little bit my doing. Just I put the cherry on top, someone bakes the cake.
So were there any awards you hoped would come your way that didn't? And out of all the awards you won, which one was your favorite?
Oof, I can't come up here and say there's any award I didn't get that I wanted. I'm so grateful for all the accolades. I know it's a team sport, but you're always grateful for the individual achievement and the recognition. So there's nothing that I would say really stands out as something I missed out on. Honestly, I can't even think of one. But one that meant the world to me, I think. Look, tournament MVP is super cool because it means we won. No one wins tournament MVP without winning. And
Yeah.
you could win Offensive Player of the Year, you could get first team all region, but it doesn't mean you won the league. It might be a factor, but it doesn't, right? The Offensive Player of the Year is announced before.
Yeah.
So for me, winning tournament MVP meant that when my team needed me most to win the league, I showed up and I was there for everybody. And that's all I could ask for. I want to, win with the guys. It's a bit cliche, but for the boys.
Of course.
But that one means the most, seriously. Scoring that goal, being able to celebrate with the fans, with all the people, and most of all my teammates, incredible. So that's a goal I'll never forget and an accolade that I'll never forget for sure.
Was it kind of a surreal moment in the sense where I was reading an article from the Northwood, when you committed to BU, one of the things that you said you dreamed and hoped of achieving was winning the league title at BU. So kind of to be MVP, which does mean that you have won and accomplished that dream, to kind of go back to all those years and all the work that you put in to get to where you are. I guess, in me reading that article, it's like, it is kind of a surreal moment. Would you kind of agree with that in the sense that you lived your dream and you were at the helm of it, actually winning MVP? Great
question. Wow. Little throwback, a little good research from you.
I try.
No, it's impressive. Yeah, I always have to kind of take a step back and ground myself. I always want more. As an athlete, you always want to do better. You always want to get to that next step. And some days you just have to take a moment and be like, wow, I'm so grateful for where I am today. And yeah, it is a culmination of work. It is a culmination of work, not just for me, but for the program as a whole, for everyone that's involved, for all the guys in my class, Andrew Rand, Andrew Wyke, Holmes, Bone, all those guys that played a role in being with us every day for 4 years to ultimately get to that goal. And you even asking that question kind of takes me back a little because it's I can't be more grateful for all of it.
So take us back to that moment. The game's coming down to a crunch. The ball's at your feet. The crowd's holding their breath, and it's all on you to clinch BU's first Patty League title. Walk us through it. Did time slow down, or were you just thinking, please don't trip over the ball?
It's kind of funny. I said it after the game in the interview, but it's a long season. You're a bit tired. By that point, both teams had played it really hard. I think it was around 70 minutes. And I'm just looking for one chance. I'm kind of holding my breath, and I'm going to get the ball once. You can't, in a game like that, it's so tight. It's a final. I'm hoping for one ball, and it had to be a goal like that, didn't it? The goal I've been kind of scoring all season.
Yeah, it had to be. It's a trademark, the trademark move.
A little bit of a trademark, a bit of pure adrenaline, honestly. In that moment, you go to what you know, right? I'm not even thinking. I get the ball, and it's such a big moment that you're just doing what you do all year, and you're going to that move, and you're relying on your trainings, on your skills. It's why you go out every day. It's why we go out every day to train. It's why the whole team goes out and works so hard in the spring and every off season all the time, because you get 10 seconds for that training to work. And it was a blessing that it did, and that I didn't trip over the ball, and that the wind probably took it a little inside the post. I can't even lie. Thanks to the wind, the Boston wind that I joke about all the time. But amazing moment, surreal. I don't even remember it. You almost black out a little bit because it's just so.
It's like muscle memory at that point, no?
It's complete muscle memory. So grateful and blessed, and thanks to Bone for the assist, as I wouldn't have scored without it.
Yeah, only if BU today could have gotten that right. Before we wrap up, what's next for Eitan Rosen?
A big part for me was I wasn't satisfied with losing in the first round. It's tough, and I was grateful to get there, but that's the level I want to be at every year, and that's where the program wants to be every year. So right now, it's just get better tomorrow.
That's all the time we have today. Next up, join us, we have two-time Patriot League Defender of the Year, Griffin Roach. Be sure to keep up with Eitan's success on social media at Terryman Soccer and Eitan Rosen 9 on Instagram and Twitter. Eitan, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck. Until next time, I'm your host, Tyler Johnson.